What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Monday, NBA Talk with Jay, man. It's March 3rd, pretty much start of a new month. Y'all know what we do, man. We got our guy Michael Fiddle at Fiddle's Picks over there on Twitter/X, man. Shout out to my guy Fiddle. What's up with you, my brother? Everything cool with you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for March. I think we're going to have a more normal NBA March than years past in terms of like competitiveness and ability to cap these games. Generally in March, it gets really weird. Like some teams start resting guys, some teams start trying out new rotations and stuff. But with the way the standings are this year and how many teams are still so close and fighting for spots, I think it's going to be a pretty consistent March, which makes it better for us as cappers.
Got you. Well, we got about 8 games today, man. Let me see. We got 4. We got 7 games today, Fiddle. What do you say? Let's dive into it, my brother. First game up. Let's go over here to the streets of Philadelphia here. Sixers laying 2.5 points at the house versus the Blazers. Blazers coming off an overtime game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in Elwood, where they almost upset them outright. Then you got the Sixers, who shit. What do you think is going on with the state of the Sixers, Fiddle? What I'm saying is that they really have a chance to tank towards the bottom and possibly get a top 4 pick. What do you think about the state of the Sixers?
I think anytime the Sixers are home, it's a fake home court advantage. Like you're getting an artificially priced in bump because the arena probably hates that team. They don't want to be there. They're going to be rooting for them to lose. Philadelphia is the loudest to their sports fans about that. So generally, Jay, I'm looking to fade 76ers as much as I can. Yeah, their pick situation is what, top 6 protected, and then they'd owe it if it's 7 or above to OKC. So it is fade of the 76ers. Paul George is questionable. I do not expect Paul George to play. So I do think that's going to be one that goes against him. But this is also a spot where Blazers are second night of a road back-to-back after an overtime game against Cleveland. So we're talking Jay kind of spots. I mean, you know these things better than me. That's probably not the best place to play Portland. So today's probably just avoid that game.
No, facts. Yeah, I mean, it's Blazers or nothing. I'll tell you that right now. Not betting on the Sixers. Definitely not laying no points with them. It's different when you're playing up versus a team and you're 9.5 point underdogs, home underdogs, and you going for the win. That's different, especially on national TV as well. Now, I think like there's some real sentiment. It's crazy, Fiddle, because the Sixers could have made the play-in tournament. They were right there and could have made the play-in tournament. Now, yeah, they still can, but now it's kind of to the point where it's like, you know what, we might as well go ahead and try and get the best draft pick. Like this season's over. If they make the play-in tournament, they might get bounced in the first game. Obviously, it won't have Embiid. So Paul George is playing. He's looked like he's playing hurt as well. So not a ton of upside for the Sixers. Also, Kelly Oubre is questionable in this one as well, man. So it's just kind of crazy because Nick Nurse, I think he's a good coach, but for whatever reason, it's not connecting over there with the Sixers, man. So just a season from hell for the Sixers. No way in hell I'm laying points with them. Even though Blazers in a bad spot, still Blazers are nothing for me. I do not agree with Sixers being a favorite in this game. Let's go over to the streets of Charlotte in this one, Fiddle. Hornets getting 12.5 points at the house versus the Warriors. Warriors have been red hot, and then they dropped one versus the aforementioned Sixers. They rested Jimmy Butler. Like, oh, okay, they thought shit was sweet. Rested Butler, like, this is Sixers. We can still go out there and beat them. And they was Sixers on their ass the whole game as well, man. So Warriors with Butler, obviously much better than without him. They really missed him in that game, missed his ball handling, ball distributing, all that stuff, points, rebounds, all of that. They missed all that, Fiddle. So Butler's expected to be back in this one. We know Curry loves coming back to play in Charlotte. I think Curry goes for a 30 ball tonight, man. Goes crazy on him. Probably it could be like a Curry 30 and win or some shit like that. But even if you had to lay the spread, I would lay the points with the Warriors here, Fiddle. What do you think about this one?
I think Steph Curry goes off. I think Seth Curry is going to be in the building. I wish there was a prop that Chance Del Curry is in the building minus 500. I'd lay the juice that Del is in the arena tonight as the two Currys go head to head. But this spot is, I have nothing here, but I just like to point out that the way that LaMelo Ball is being priced, because LaMelo Ball is a player in the back half of the season who's going to be sitting back-to-backs, who's going to be in and out of the lineup sporadically. The Hornets are not really playing for anything either. LaMelo's worth about half a point or 1 point to the spread and about 6-7 points to the total. So It is pretty amazing to see, like, LaMelo be playing in this game. They were a 17-point underdog on the road in Golden State last week when they played. Now they're a 13-point home dog, but with LaMelo in the lineup back at home. So LaMelo gets barely any bump being for like his impact towards the spread, but it's really a total driving thing. Just an interesting point. I got nothing on the game though.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a great point. I think with LaMelo out there, he's the whole team for the Hornets, man. I mean, you watch the Hornets, you watch him without LaMelo, and you watch him with LaMelo. I mean, he literally he didn't beat the Lakers single-handedly because it's still 5-1-5, but he literally took over that game, man. The first game coming out of the All-Star break, 13-point underdogs versus the Lakers, and he literally took over that game and won it. Had the game-sealing layup, had one of the game-sealing assists. Like LaMelo is one of those guys. You know what? Hashtag free LaMelo.
I love LaMelo.
The hashtag free LaMelo, man. Get him somewhere. Get him the fuck out of Charlotte, bro. They doing him dirty over there, man. But I do think the young core of him, Brandon Miller, some of these other guys, Trey Mann when he's healthy, I think they have a little core. But I mean, I also thought they would make the play-in tournament this year as well. So, and they even when they had all their guys, they were coming out bullshitting some games, man. So. Who knows over there? You know, it's crazy. The Hornets had played 9 straight road games, Fiddle, before their last game versus the Wizards. Obviously, there was a break in there for the All-Star break, but they had played 9 straight road games, bro. And then they just lost in a very winnable game versus the Wizards. I think that was a very winnable game, and they lost that one outright, man. So who knows what's going on with the Hornets? The only thing that we do know for sure, the Warriors have been going crazy. They're in a bounce back spot. Curry has been going crazy, and he usually goes crazy in Charlotte as well. So all the actual factuals would tell us that we probably want to look towards Curry on his points today. I know last night the 25 plus was minus 185. The 30 plus was like plus, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was definitely plus money for the 30 plus. But I would go with Steph Curry's over his points in this particular game. He's getting back to the point where he's unguardable. Curry going stupid again. So I think Curry over his points in that one and would lean towards Warriors. Let's go over here to the streets of Miami in this one. Fiddle Heat coming off of a overtime game in this one versus the Wizards in this one. We see a lot of steam come in on the Wizards in this game. I don't know if I'm fucking with. I understand that the spot, this is the whole thing, Fiddle. The spot can say a team, but like we got to understand some of these teams are just ass. Now the Heat are ass as well. But you know what I'm saying? They were laying 11.5. All the money started coming in on Wizards. I'm just like, I'm not in a hurry to going back to them, bro. Like, even if they're in a great position, they could still get blown the fuck out by 20 points. What do you think? Would you be taking the sharp side here with the Wizards?
Not if you didn't get it early and you're coming into the market now, but Jordan Poole going to be out for this game. So Marcus Smart is probably going to be doing a lot more of the ball handling duties. You're probably going to have more of that veteran play between him and Middleton. You saw the total has absolutely collapsed, like 7 points lower in the total right now. This is a gross spot. I apologize for saying this 3 games in a row, but at this point, it's probably pretty priced out and not worth betting. If anything, I would go reverse the market and fade this Wizards team. Like you were saying, Jay, like they're just so bad. And the Heat have to put it together eventually. So a line that moved from 12.5 at open down to 8.5 now, it's just like, maybe it's time to go the Heat. Like how much of that is just playing into the Heat's, overtime game versus the Knicks yesterday where they were up big and then dropped it, right? So you like playing into the games where a team slips a lead. Right. So Miami slipped a big one yesterday against New York. So maybe this is a bounce back spot for them. I can't still play the Wizards. No way.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I understand. Like you got to understand, as soon as the team goes to overtime, money's going to come in on the other side. It's going to happen every single time. Even if they're just like, they know that they're getting CLV, that's what they're going to do. Wizards coming off a win, not a bet on spot. They are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games, though. So they have been covering some spreads. Not the greatest of spots for the Heat for the simple fact they've been playing so many games in so many days. So, I mean, if you go all the way back and look at it back-to-back, no travel, but still back-to-back off a tough game with the overtime game as well. 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th and 6th. 5th game in 8 days, 6th game in 9 nights, all this good stuff already with them not already playing well as well, man. So I would do nothing with this game. I understand the sharp play on the Wizards, but it's just not a team that I'm ready to back. I know with Middleton and Smart helps them out a little bit, but they're still remembering what they're trying to do which is not necessarily win games, but they do have the worst record. And it's crazy, Fiddle, because when that happens, then you can actually afford to win a few games. So
yeah, exactly.
If I had to bet it, it would still be Wizards for the main part that the Heat are just like they're in a very bad fatigue spot, but wouldn't be surprised what happened with this game. Let's go over here to the streets of Memphis in this one, Fiddle. Grizzlies laying 9.5 at the house versus the Hawkeys in this one. Total 253, man. Rest in peace to the NBA that I loved, my guy. Total 253, man. What do you think?
I think that I mean, not from a betting perspective, but that total's absurd. Like, it's genuinely not fun to watch basketball when they're scoring that much.
Bro.
This is a point. They're projecting a point every 11 seconds of game time.
Bro, I'm watching the Thunder game yesterday, bro. And it's just like I heard someone say, is this a regular score for NBA? Bro, 146 to 132, bro. Like literally all-star game numbers in a regular season game. I just remember like people saying, hey, is the score supposed to be like that? Is it like they was truly perplexed by the score? And I was like, yeah, pretty much, man. It's today's NBA. And the Thunder as well, one of the best defense. But I digress. Sorry, Fiddle, but I just had to mention that was pretty funny yesterday.
It's been a Memphis market, but
for sure.
I think it's a clear Memphis spot because they're also getting Ja and Desmond Bane back off the injury report. I think we just heard that Ja was active at shoot-around. So I think Memphis spot, but again, numbers, there are some spots where I still think are worth getting down on, and those are coming up in a second, but playing it at 9 or 9.5 once it opened at 6, playing the total at 253.5, 252.5 once it was at 250 earlier. I don't want to play an under. I don't like just playing unders. I feel like, Jay, a lot of money, not necessarily money. There's going to be a bunch of tickets that come in that are under 253.5 just because the number's 253.5.
Yeah.
Like people are going to like schmuck that bet and be like, just because the number's so high, I should bet the under. There's no way they can score that much. Generally, the highest numbers still go over. Generally, the lowest numbers still go under. Like yesterday, we had Toronto Raptors Magic close at 209, and it lands 206. Yeah. So, and we have the OKC Spurs game be priced at 238.5 and land,
soars
260, right? So I don't like to make a number actionable because you think the number's eye-opening, and obviously a 253 on a total, it's the highest one we've had pregame this season, so it's definitely eye-opening, but that's not a reason to bet an under. So I have played nothing on that game.
I want to say one thing that I'm starting to realize. We know that Wemby was ruled out. He was supposed to get defensive player. Then we knew that it's literally out of Mobley and Jaren Jackson Jr., right? It's not because I still think Dyson Daniels should have a chance. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, my guy is going crazy. I know he's not a big man. Dyson Daniels should be in the defensive player of the year conversation. That's how good he is defensively. Now, problem is the Hawks defense is ass. Yep. And also for Triple J as well. He's 1-1, and the Grizzlies defense isn't good either, but they gave up 130 to San Antonio, gave up 148 versus the Suns, even though it was in overtime. Like they're giving up over 110 points pretty much every night, man. So I said all that to say, I think that Mobley gets it for the simple fact the Cavs record and that their defense is he's one of the best defensive players on one of their most elite defenses. So that's just something I'm starting to figure out now. And I think that's why Mobley has I know Triple J was the favorite at first. That's why Mobley has moved to the favorite, because I think people realize, like, hold on, Grizzlies defense isn't as good as it was whenever Triple J won it that last time. You know what I'm saying? It's great being great individual defender, but when your team is giving up, like, come on, bro, you gave up 148 to the Suns, man. I'm sorry, defensive player of the year can't be on one of those freaking teams, but that's just what I had to say. This game, they need Ja. They need Bane back. They've lost 2 straight. They've lost 3 of the last 4. Hell, they've lost 5 of their last 7 games, and 1-6 against the spread. They're 0-6-1 against the spread in that span as well. So could something be going on with the Grizzlies? I mean, the Hawks, they've lost 2 straight as well. They've lost 5 of their last 6. I think they could actually match up well with the Grizzlies here, though. I think it could possibly be a spot where Grizzlies win, Hawks cover a spread. But did I bet it? Hell no. But it's one of those to where I believe it opened at 6. It's getting 9.5. When you see them are ruled in, you're going to get north of double digits here. and all the money on them. So it's crazy to say. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the points came through here. The Hawks going up against another team that doesn't play defense, they can match the offense with the Grizzlies here. Just who wants to play D, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if Hawks covered this game, but definitely I'm not sure if I'm going to bet it, but I think I'm starting to be to where it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they covered this shit, Fiddle, to be perfectly honest with you. And Grizzlies got a big date with the Thunder coming up on deck as well. I'm sure they want to win, but we talk about winning by double digits. Hawks can be scrappy sometimes. Let's see what happens, and I will definitely be watching this game. Let's go over to the streets of OKC here, Fiddle. Possibly one of the games of the day. Thunder laying 9 at the house versus the Rockets here, Fiddle. Some I'm noticing Rockets, the Thunder really want that net rating like history record. That's something I'm noticing for sure. What do you think happens in this particular game?
I think this one flies over, and love the over 228 in this game. Let me find where best available odds are, because this one is one that I think is definitely still actionable. There is 228.5 minus 105 at FanDuel. There are some flat 228s available, but yeah, I would really play almost any number that's currently on the board except for the DraftKings 229.5. It's just a 1.5 higher than anywhere else. But I do think that's where it could close. And I do think that this is a game that goes over the number. OKC is coming off of a nice win against the Nets. Rockets coming off of a loss against the Kings. So I think this one just paces up. There's a little bit of rest disadvantage for OKC in this spot. So I think coming off that back-to-back against the Spurs as well. We saw the way that this OKC pattern has gone. Even though their defense is elite, the pace is just so fast right now, and I think the Rockets are going to try and do the same. Rockets returned Jabari Smith recently. Van Vliet is going to be out, so I'm looking at Van Vliet out and being, okay, more Jalen Green ball handling, more Amen Thompson ball handling. So for all of those reasons, I'd love the over 228.5 Rockets Thunder. I don't know who covers, but love the over here.
And the Thunder are 6-0 to the over as well. You know, it's great. The Thunder are not playing defense in the first half.
Yeah,
I've literally watched this team for 3 straight games. The Nets, the Hawks, and the Spurs. What do they do every game except, well, even the Hawks game, because they were up. RIP to anybody, man. RIP to those tickets that had the Thunder first half versus the Hawks. Thunder went like on a 9-0, the Hawks went like on a 9-0 run to come and cover that first half spread, man. It's crazy. But what I'm noticing, Thunder do not care in the first half. Then the second half, they just come out there and smoke you. They literally just come out there and jump all over your ass. And it's crazy because they came all the way back and covered the spread yesterday versus the Spurs, man. That was crazy. They were down 5 at the half, 77-72 at the half, bro. Where 5-6 years ago, that would be the end of the third quarter. Now that's at halftime. That was wild there, man. But Thunder jumping on teams in the second half. First half, that's when their spot. They've been kind of coming out just BSing around. Pretty much got the number 1 seed locked up as well. Now the Thunder aren't those type of teams where they taper off, but there is coming a time where it's like these games are becoming very meaningless. But on the other end, they also really want that net rating record, like the best net rating in history. I could tell they're young guys. They know about this shit. They're really gunning for it. But I do think it could really hurt their chances on possibly making a championship run if they continue to take these regular season games more serious. Like, especially when you already got the number 1 seed locked up, that's when you want to kind of just get ready for the playoffs, make sure you're healthy. You know what I'm saying? Keep some guys rested or whatever, because it's been a long season. So that's just something to keep an eye out for. But definitely might ride with my guy Fiddle here with the over. That's just the way that the Thunder have been playing. I mean, what, 146, 132, 135, 119, 129, 121 versus the Nets. 128, 131 versus the Wolves. 130, 123 versus the Wolves. All these shit's been soaring over 230, man. So I like that over with you, Fiddle. I'm definitely riding with you in that one. Let's go over to the streets of – go ahead. What would you about to say?
About like – you're giving out the results. If you also looked at all those lines, they would have been ones that, you know, opened at 224 and closed at 229, opened at 218 and closed at 223. So like the pregame market is factoring in this too. There's some real sharp people out there playing OKC overs. So I see some comments also in the chat that are people on OKC unders, and I'm like, RIP to those tickets today. That this Sixers
Yeah,
going for $6 a pop right now. Would you even go to a Sixers game if they paid you to do it?
I would to go to see the other team.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, I go see the Sixers. I'll pull up their schedule. You damn right I'll go to. Especially you gonna pay me? Yeah. Well, but I'm not rooting for the Sixers though. That's for damn sure. I might have some words for some of the players. Please put me right behind the bench. You guys you're going to hear what I have to say, man. So I wouldn't be getting the $6 tickets though. I gotta sit close. You know what I'm saying? I need my tickets. My tickets got to be at least $300, bro, for me to
So
go to the game.
when you're sitting behind the bench and you're talking your crap to the 76ers, do you go from J Money to J 2 cents? Because that's what you're giving them.
What do you mean?
You know, and you're giving someone your 2 cents.
This guy here, man.
You're letting them hear it.
No, I'm letting them hear it for sure, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's
$6 tickets, J 2 cents out there, letting these Philadelphia 76ers know.
Now let me tell you this: $6, they won't hear a thing you saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Them $6 tickets, they won't hear a word you say, or they might, because it's gonna be so damn quiet in the arena. But no, I gotta sit close, man. I probably get a $200 ticket or something. Still gotta sit on the first floor. We're not sitting in the nosebleeds no more, man. Quick story: my son went to a Nuggets camp last summer, and so you get free tickets to a Nuggets game. And I looked at the ticket, looked at all the games, which are BS games, and the tickets, and you're sitting way at the top. I'm like, I mean, there's no point in I'd rather just pay for some tickets. I'm not sitting at the game watching the fucking jumbotron, bro. It's like, I don't care if we're going for free. It's just like, we're just not doing that, man. But I digress, man. Let's get over here to the streets of Dallas in this one, man. Mavs were going to be my spot today, Fiddle. And then we saw that PJ Washington out. I thought that the two teams are pretty well matched, especially with Sabonis out for the Kings, who I still think matters a lot. The Kings, when you look at it, they don't really have a point guard. I mean, they're going to have Malik Monk, bring a starting point guard. Then off the bench, they're going to have Keon Ellis. Well, let me tell you, neither one of these guards are like NBA status, NBA like point guards where you want them running your team, especially when you're laying points on the road, especially when you got guys like Kyrie on the other side as well, Dante Exum, who's actually running the team really well coming off the bench. But really would have been nice to have PJ Washington. We know that they're missing Gafford, Lively, Anthony Davis, all these guys, man. So no PJ really hurts, in my opinion. Still think the Mavs would have the more fluid offense in this one. It's just you never know which team's going to show up defensively here, Fiddle. But line moved from 1.5 Mavs to Kings -2.5. You have any thoughts on this game?
No, not really. Played it under, but I wouldn't still play it. Sabonis is out on the Kings side, so you're seeing sharp movement on Kings, but then they're missing perhaps their best player. So maybe it is come the other way and play the Mavericks. It's nothing for me at all. No, I don't even have an opinion on it.
I was told from an OG before, and I don't even know how well this tracks. Maybe my SDQ guys. I don't even know if you can do that. But when a line opens up as the favorite and then it goes to the other team as the favorite, when it's less than 3, you still want to take that team that was favored at first, man. So that's just one of my guys told me a while ago. I don't know how well it's tracked over the years. That's just something that I noticed for a little while after he said it, and it was actually like coming through at like 65-70%, man. So it's almost like going with the team that was favored, that the books thought was favored at first. You see what I'm saying? Who the books were favored at first, man. So it is a double revenge spot for the Mavs. But like I say, man, they got so many bodies out, bro. It don't make no sense. When I was legit perplexed by why the line was moving, Fiddle. And I was like, okay, PJ out. But I still don't know if that warrants like a 3. I mean, when you talk about it crossing over 0, this is almost like a 4 or 5 point move. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to count the 0, the pick in when it moves. So I'm not sure if I'm ready to. The Kings have been playing a lot better. This is a huge game for like play-in tournament, you know what I'm saying, jockeying and all that shit. But I still get a feel that the Mavs at the crib might get this job done. But I know after the Kings, Fiddle, after they got smacked versus the Warriors, they're 3-0 straight up and against the spread. They beat the Hornets and the Jazz, but it's a really good win versus the Rockets. They lost the bonus in the first quarter in that one, and they still won that game. So that was a really good win versus the Kings in that one. Mavs coming off a spot where they got smacked versus the Bucks. I was on the Bucks in that one, but they lost 3 of the last 4 games. This is a winnable game. They're gonna lose. They're probably gonna lose their next 2 games versus the Bucks and the Grizzlies. So Mavs need this win, man. They better stop BSing around. Fuck around, miss the playoffs, Fiddle. And what they price right now, they might just miss the playoffs, man. Last game, Phil. Jazz get 9. The ass get 9 at the house versus the Pistons. What do you think? Can we trust the Pistons? Are obviously balling. Can we trust them laying 9 on the road in their first game on the road after 4 straight home games?
No, Jazz spot. We're playing the ass. Give me all that ass in them jeans.
Give me all that ass. All right, I wasn't expecting that, Phil. All right, that you know what?
You hear me drop it in them jeans afterwards?
Them was the days right there, man. In those jeans, no facts. Is there any more room for me in those jeans? No, that's a fact. You
Genuine question.
Yeah, no facts though. Ma, but I mean, shit, the Jazz, bro. They've been at the house, bro. They hadn't had to travel nowhere. Fiddle. This is probably a Jazz first quarter type of spot.
And I think they're going to rule in all their players. Like they had literally all 5 starters. They're back to back, right? Jazz played against Pelicans last night.
Wanted no parts of winning that game, bro. They wanted no parts in winning that game.
Me neither, because I had Pels. But they had Sexton, Clarkson, Marketing, Kessler, Collins all out, and they've all been upgraded to questionable. So assuming maybe 2 or 3 of those guys even get the nod to play and go back in, because they've been pre-resting guys in these back-to-back spots. Like they've done that with Sexton a few times and outwardly reported it as rest on the first end of a back-to-back. So if those guys end up come back and playing, then you get actually rested and home in altitude Jazz against the on the road as long road favorites in a spot we don't like to take, the Pistons. So this is a spot for me, Jazz money line. This was the one I was waiting for.
Okay. I mean, the spot situation sets up for them. I'm at the casino last night. I'm like, Pistons, they land 9. They've won 9 of the last 10. The only problem here, Fiddle, is that they've gotten owned by the Jazz. And it could be 2 things. It could be some teams just don't. First off, no one wants to go to fucking Utah. Like nobody. It's like you kind of dread it. You ever had everybody's had that job where you wake up, you're like, man, damn, I gotta go to work. Nobody wants to go to Utah. There's fucking you're in literally a bumfuck nowhere, literally. You see what I'm saying? Super racist town, all that shit. Maybe they just don't do well and they just don't like playing in Utah. But they've lost 4 straight in Utah. The Jazz have owned the Pistons. They've won 5 of the last 6. They've won 8 of the last 10 matchups versus the Pistons. So that's the only thing that kind of gets me. It's like, what if Bickerstaff's like, look, y'all been getting your ass kicked by Utah. I wasn't the coach then. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm the coach. I'm going to show you this history. I'm going to show you how they've been playing. Look how we playing this year. Look how they're playing. So I still wouldn't lay 9 versus the Pistons, but when he like Jazz to win outright, I don't know about. That's a little far-fetched. But I mean, anything can happen in today's NBA. Spot sets up well for him. Hadn't had to travel anywhere. I know if I feel like the Jazz are going to win outright, I would take them first quarter, like first half money line. That would be the one that I would go with. You never know what's going to happen in the second half, but also for the Pistons, they're not used to playing in the altitude right now. There's no telling when the last time the Pistons have played in altitude. They're balling 8-2 against the spread last 10 games. Playing really great defense. That's what showed to me for the Pistons. They've been locked in on the defensive end, and they're letting their offense come off of that. So shout out to the Pistons, to Bickerstaff, Cade. All we need is Norman Powell. Shit, his hamstrings fucked up. He couldn't even play the first quarter. Let's just hope Powell missed 2 more games, man. And that Cade is pretty much gonna be locked up. Hopefully, nothing guaranteed until it's guaranteed, but hopefully Powell missed a couple more games, and then that Cade is gonna be looking really nice for most improved player. I think it was like minus 500 last night when I looked at it. It was minus 250 the day before that. So let's see what happens, man. Hope them Cade tickets come through. I really need that one. But Fiddle rocking with the Jazz here. I'm not going to talk you off, man. Let's get up out of here, my brother. Everybody went crazy in the chat. See what I'm saying? Everybody went crazy in the chat when you said that, man. So, but what do you think? What do you like for today, my brother?
Jazz +9, Jazz a little money line exposure as well. Houston Rockets Thunder over 228.5. Those are all actionable plays for me currently available.
I like it. I like it, man. Shout out to my guy Ronald in the chat. I don't have nothing for today, man. I like the Mavs, and then like I say, I mean, should I even like Mavs -1.5? I still think it's possibly a play, but like I say, if the Kings did, I would definitely wanted PJ in there. They don't have a lot of big men. Like them getting Moses Brown over there, but like I'm just, like fucking Dwight Powell, bro. Like I can't even believe he's still in the league. No disrespect to him. But like, bruh, Powell has been ass for the Mavs for like at least the past 6-7 years. So definitely would have been nice to have PJ out there. Still lean the Mavs, but I'm off the game, my guys. But I will ride with Fiddle with that over Rockets Thunder. I'll ride with my guy Phil on that. I can't fuck with the Jazz, man. I hope all the ass fits in those jeans. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping. But I need the Jazz to lose pretty much every single game. So unfortunately, I can't root for them to win this game. And also, I do like Curry over his points, though. I think that's a really strong spot, to be perfectly honest with you, man. So my guys say y'all beefing with Jay. Nah, man. Ronald Skeet and my guys out there, man. I hadn't even been doing my own show, but shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my guy Fiddle as well, man. Make sure y'all follow him on Twitter/X. He does his own NBA show pretty much every day, man. I think Curry goes to Charlotte tonight and his hometown, see what I'm saying, goes bonkers. He's already going bonkers anywhere. Definitely finna go bonkers in Charlotte tonight. Jimmy Butler's assists been cashing at a high rate. Warriors in a bounce back. Smack City spot. Those are spots today, my guys. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's get this cash, my guys. We out. Let's go.